COVID-19 Front Radio, and we're coming to you from Triple C, the Community Constituency COVID-19 Front Nerve Center, which is here in Pretoria, Tshwane. We've brought you a whole lot of professionals who are behind this nervous system, that run this nervous system to reach you on the ground as a member of our community to make sure that we respond to your needs from IT, the PR. And today we are bringing you a young lady with a rare profession called graphic designing, Ruramai Musekiwa, who is our graphic designer here at the Nerve Center. Rur, you are welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay, this is wonderful. Graphic design.
Yes.
What is it? You don't need to show her whole lot. None reads it with teacher, graphic designing. You know, tell us, what does it mean? We want to also inspire the youth.
Indeed.
Because we're talking a lot about the kind of professions that will be redundant post-COVID.
Yes.
So just to broaden, the minds of people to see how wide a choice can be of the professions that you can get into.
Yes, sir.
It's in mechanic, yes. Yeah, sure. Graphic designing, how do you describe it?
So graphic design is visual language. When you are communicating a message, you would then use visuals to communicate that message in the most accurate way for people to understand what you are trying to say, either as an individual, as a company. If you are wanting to advertise your offering, you would obviously use things such as posters, such as billboards, depending on what platforms you want to use. Television, the online social media space. So graphic design is basically a career path in which you can visually create imaging that translates those messages to the public.
Visually so.
Visually so, yes.
And where do you study this? And what kind of talents does it need special talents and the subjects that you need to study?
Definitely. I mean, if you are a person who is inclined to art, if you are an artistic person, it's a good start as a young person to venture into that career path. In terms of institutions of study, graphic design is available at most technical institutions.
It has to be technical, yeah.
Or even private institutions that are kind of more niche focused in terms of branding, etc. Yeah.
So, is it divided into different kinds of faculties, maybe, for the lack of a better word, or it's just graphic designing? It's one size fits all. Once you're a graphic designer, you are all the same, or you can specialize in a particular manner.
Yes, indeed.
Talk to me like a 6-year-old.
So in simple terms, a graphic design is divided into multimedia, which can incorporate video, animation, and that sort of thing. So it's not just the still images in terms of posters and stuff. You can look at animating and creating movement. So multimedia allows for you to tap into different spaces in terms of animation and such.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when you talk animation, that now goes into the film industry.
Indeed.
And some of the big blockbusters, they've been animated, Aladdin and many others,
yes.
Pocahontas, I remember some of those great movies. Where else in the industry do graphic designers fit in?
Anywhere.
From film?
From film to...
We've mentioned.
To corporates, graphic design has opportunities in many spaces.
Is it?
If you're a graphic designer, government and provide a service. It really is a person who can provide a service of creating visuals that represent the company and that create the messaging that is then given to the public. So in any space you can really fit.
Cartoonists, are they somehow, do they have to study graphic designing?
Not necessarily.
Or
abantu
That's
abadrawyayo-ke
talent
labo.
for
Yes,
them.
yes, that's raw talent.
Oh, okay.
Which then you can now be a cartoonist. You can now just create visual art that you sell. But you don't necessarily have to study to be a cartoonist. Eh.
Yeah. And then what is the duration of the course?
Duration of the course is 3 to 5 years. So you can get a standard diploma, or you can go over and above that. Yes.
Okay. So we've seen some of your work here. Looking good. You put it on our WhatsApp group. We all clap. Hey, wonderful.
Yes.
What do you take into consideration before you come up with all of these things, like, should I call it an emblem? Yeah, Rona, or what is that you created?
Logo.
It's a logo,
Yes,
yes, that's
yes.
the way. It's good to have you here. The logo.
Yes.
What is it that you take into consideration and then start creating, say, a logo for a company or
So-
something?
When you're creating a visual...
Let's take ours here,
Ours
NF
here,
Center.
yes.
There. And then I hope we'll show it as you speak, and you speak to it to
Sure.
say. And then I know there's a lot of blue there and all of those
Some
things.
reds.
You see, I scrutinized it. And then you will tell us why these colors, the images that we are seeing, what is it?
So when you're creating a logo, for example, you have to consider, Guti, your brand. Who is it speaking to? Who are you speaking? Who is your target audience? So when you do understand that my target audience is this specific group in society, there's a certain language that they understand also. I won't take into that is super formal and try and sell that visual to umuntu or hlale lokshin, for example, because it's a different kind of languaging and creating visuals around. So you firstly have to establish who you are speaking to. You have to understand even the psychological aspect of color, because colors also represent certain things, right? And the symbols that you use, because especially now in this very PC culture that we live in, you need to try not to offend abantu. So if I'm, for example, creating something that represents a faith group, I can't, a diverse faith group, I can't put a Christian cross there and now expect Muslims to
Relate to
that. So you need to know who you're speaking to and how to tailor a message for those people when creating any visual, from logo to poster to anything. Really. Yeah.
And talk to our logo.
Right.
Just for those who haven't seen it.
Yes.
Why did you choose the color blue and go the image that you've put there, just to describe it for us? Let it speak.
In terms of our logo, I didn't originate our logo, but in terms of kind of the briefing of what it represents, the idea of our logo was to create an icon that represents unity and kind of a group of people working together. And so we have this image that has the different icons that are little people, connected in a circle, which represents the constituency itself, which is a group of many people working together to solve this issue that is at the center, which is the virus graphic.
So it's really artistic,
Absolutely.
You don't go to a manual and say, okay, we have this COVID page, what they will direct me how to do it. And it's all in your head. You have to be creative, put it on paper, and voila.
Yes.
And do you take it through a panel to say that, and then do you throw away a lot of stuff before they can accept it? You have to convince them to say this is it.
Indeed.
Just the process to arrive at a final product, to say I'm happy with this.
So the process would be firstly getting briefed by the client. So you, for example, Abuti Lawrence, if I was branding you as a
Yes.
brand, and you are legendary, by the way. If I was
Thank
branding
you,
you, for
Ru, coming
example,
from you.
we would sit together and you would then inform me what is the look and feel that you want to establish for your brand as Lawrence Dube. Are you
I'm
wanting...
Tabane now, by the way, let's correct it. I got married.
Pardon me, faux pas. But if I was branding you, you would then tell me what image are you trying to put out as a personal brand. We would then sit down and break that down in terms of colors that represent you, in terms of what kind of look and feel do you want. Do you want something clean and elegant? Do you want something funky and refreshing and youthful? Once we've established that, I would then create various options for your branding, pitch that to you, and then we would then narrow down from there. Yes.
And then I think these graphic designers are mostly also used by political parties, especially the new ones.
Yes, indeed.
When you look at the political parties that we have, putting on a spot now,
Yes,
which one would you say, would you rank their brand as tops and they speak to their
Goodness.
to their people? And that's just the right logo. And which one will you say, if you don't answer the question, it's fine, they missed the mark here. You know, they got this, but I don't think they are talking to their constituency.
I think I'd be happy to answer the first one, which is very positive.
Yes.
And I don't want to offend anybody. I'd say, ANC.
Oh, yes.
The ruling party from back in the day, their logo hasn't changed much, hasn't evolved much. It's kind of the hand that is,
Yes.
it's very symbolic, very iconic, and it has been timeless in terms of from where it started to this day. It's still something you can readily recognize as representing, the ANC. The colors are also symbolic. So yeah, that speaks to me in terms of a good brand.
Football clubs?
Because I'm a fan.
Ha!
Kaizer Chiefs.
Oh, yes.
I'm a Kosi, yes. I'm a Kosi. Have amazing, yes.
There was a Pirates fan sitting there, and when she left here, there were divisions amongst us, and she vowed never to come back to the studio.
Yes, but these things
She
can
took
break,
it so personal.
They can break relationships. These
Yeah,
things,
I
yes.
know. Yes.
Yeah.
How do you see the profession of graphic designing post COVID-19? And we already know of the blood that is on the floor on the economic front, and how many jobs are going to be redundant, and people who are losing. Do you think the profession will survive? And is it a good paying job?
All right. So I absolutely think graphic design is a profession that will survive and is able to easily adapt to the changes that we're seeing in this time. Because so much content is living in the digital space, there are opportunities, I think, abundant opportunities for graphic designers. There will never be a shortage of work in terms of companies needing, to be relevant in this time, companies needing to channel, messaging in this time. So I think graphic design will survive. And I think a lot of, just even within my circle, a lot of my creative friends are freelancers. They work remotely. It has never been...
There's always social distance.
Absolutely. We've never had issues with working remotely. So I think it will definitely survive, even in this climate.
And then what else do you do on a daily basis? Once you've come up with that logo,
So
what are you on daily basis now that we're really drawing now? What keeps you busy now on daily basis as a graphic designer?
So, goodness. It's really funny that you mentioned that, because there's kind of an attitude around, creatives and artists. That we just paint pretty pictures. And it's kind of this mindless process of creating pretty things.
Now I want to you tell me what entails you.
Understand.
Tell us more.
I think beyond making pretty pictures, I make actual pretty pictures. So I am a visual, a fine artist, kind of part-time. I've exhibited in Senegal.
Oh, fine art.
Yes, I create illustrations and fine arts. I've done a poster series celebrating Black women called the Sbahle poster series.
Okay.
I play some guitar.
You do?
I'm very low-key about the music thing, but...
I'll come and listen.
That's fair.
Okay, I'll be
Yes.
your audience.
Please
We don't
be-
need a crowd.
Be kind.
No, because social distancing.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. But far, you're done.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
You've educated us a lot.
I am glad.
Thank you so much, and wonderful, great work you're doing
Thank you.
for the NEF Center.
Thank you.
And thanks for inspiring the youth at home who are listening, and I know it will broaden their minds. Ruramai Musekiwa, our graphic designer here at the NEF Center. I'm Lawrence Tabani. This is COVID Front Radio. Please make sure that you contact the NICD hotline on 0800 029 999 should you pick up some of the symptoms that somehow could maybe mean that you might have this COVID-19 infection. This include cough, runny nose, fever, and shortness of breath, or visit the nearest clinic. Cover your mouth with a tissue, paper when coughing or sneezing, and wash your hands frequently with soap. Observe good personal hygiene at all times. We can beat this COVID under the slogan, I am, you are, we are together in ending COVID-19. I'm Lawrence Tabani. You take good care.